Hong Kong protesters managed to break into the building of the Legislative Assembly of the Autonomous Region where local government. Men armed with armature and road signs. Earlier, a group of protesters smashed glass doors of the building with a metal truck. In clashes earlier in the day, police used pepper gas and batons. Reported victims on both sides. In the building of the Legislative Assembly activated red alert level. This means that all employees and visitors are advised to leave the building and its surroundings. The demonstrators broke the doors of the building around lunch, but according to the newspaper South China Morning Post, could not open a heavy door inside, behind which they waited for the police. The protesters told reporters that they expect violence. The police stated that they would use force if protesters try to enter the building. Later they warned us that anyone who passes through the gate will be arrested. The demonstrators also tried to break into the territory of the exhibition center, which hosted the annual flag-raising ceremony, but the police gave them a hard fight back. The current turmoil continued the series of protests against the amendments to the Extradition Act that would allow the extradition of residents of the city to mainland China. The protesters are demanding completely abandon the adoption of the controversial bill. Another demand of the protesters, the resignation of the head of administration of Hong Kong Carrie Lam. Hong Kong, the former British colony since 1997, is under the control of China. The agreement with China guarantees Hong Kong a degree of autonomy. On the anniversary of the transfer of the city and district under the Chinese government in Hong Kong generally hold mass demonstrations. Service law enforcement also stated that the protesters used against the police an unknown liquid. 13 police officers were sent to the hospital. Some of them had problems with breathing. Hong Kong was a British colony since 1841, and in 1997 came under the jurisdiction of China and became its part on the principle of one country, two systems. The government stated that changes in legislation are needed to get rid of the gaps in the legislation, which Hong Kong became a refuge for those who wanted to mainland China.